Good morning, it's David Frost here from Cllr Lighting Technologies. We are at East Pines Park in Blackpool, installing 2 solar street lighting columns for the council. We are currently doing a GPR survey. Company 47 are doing the work today, and we're just surveying the ground to ensure there's no utilities there in advance of doing our installation.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
And what would the installation look like? What we're planning on doing, David?
So we've got an auger machine that will excavate a hole down to a metre, 350 mil wide, and then we will take a sleeve, drop the sleeve into the hole that we've augured, and then once the columns are arrived, we'll erect those columns and use pea shingle to set the column, and then we will fit all the technology to the columns, and we'll be up and running same day.
That's amazing. So in one day it can all be done.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah.
fantastic. And we've got 2 sites in mind, haven't we, that we're planning on doing?
Yes.
So which sites are we
So we've got one at the entrance here, so we cover off the main entrance. This is a very heavily used park through the day. And then halfway down the footpath on the left here, we'll be installing another column, which will facilitate the lighting to the end of the footpath.
Brilliant. Oh, David, you're a natural at this, by the way. You should be in TV. You never like to lights. Nice.
Tk you very much.
Thank you, David. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul.
Look forward to seeing you work through.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you.
So we're currently doing the GPS survey here, and this will measure for any pipes or cables underground and identify if there are any there. That'll prove a barrier. And there's David and Anita, and for those who don't know, Anita is my amazing ward partner and keeps me on the straight and narrow, and is a great counsellor. We'll have a chat with Anita shortly, but there's Charlie there, who's busy working away on measuring what lies beneath the ground. Hopefully there won't be any scary things that stop us from doing the work that we need to. Hello Anita, how are you?
I'm not too bad. Excited about today though.
It's amazing, isn't it? It's amazing. Gosh, yeah. How long have we been sort of planning something like this?
Ever since I've become a counsellor, this has been on the agenda, so
it?
We're going back a while now.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the most popular requests we get is, can we have lights please, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's not only about the lighting, but it's how it looks. Yeah. Lighting makes such a difference. It isn't only just that it's a point of lighting the park, it's aesthetically how it looks as well. Yeah. And this is going to be so special. Yeah. Really exciting.
Absolutely, it certainly adds to it. What I've noticed over the times is at night time I've sort of walked around the park and I've bumped into people who I know would normally in the day I'll see walking through the park, and it'll have a big impact in terms of this cut through area, won't it?
Yeah. People don't feel safe currently walking through parks when, rightly so, when the lighting is poor.
Yeah.
Once you've got the lighting in, people feel more confident, but also it keeps any potential antisocial behaviour at bay because people feel safe.
Yeah, it's a good point, because for ages I wasn't sure if lighting would make parks more dangerous, i.e. they would attract loads of people to hang around in them, or safer. And then I noticed when we did the Lights Anchor Zone Park, it answered the question, because actually the bits where the lights were was the safest bits, and it was only in the dark bits where the more unsavoury things might be happening if they were to be happening. And so that was sort of the answer for me. Actually, light definitely does reduce antisocial behaviour.
Well, the team that are currently working at the moment, I was just speaking to them, and they work all around the country doing just this in different parks. Yeah. And what they have found is that the amount of antisocial behaviour has fallen hugely. People don't like to be seen in bright light or in the light frightened that, well, I could be caught here. They always prefer to be in the dark, and this is around the country, so we're just following on from that. Safer parks. What they say is the community reclaiming their parks.
Oh, wow, that's spot on, isn't it? It's exactly what it is. Yeah, it is sort of being able to say, I feel safe, so I'll go.
Yeah.
And so on. So now this isn't the only lighting project we've sort of got on the go at the moment, is it, in here? We have got some other things lined up.
We've got within Anchor's Home, we have got a number of things lined up. It isn't just the everyday council stuff, it is the things that enhance people's living environment and their quality of life.
Yeah.
And that is what we've got underway at the moment.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a big week actually in Anchor's Home. I noticed, I haven't told you this, they're currently digging up large parts of Anchor's Home Lane East as they're replanting all those trees. And I noticed, I went down there, and I need to try and get some pictures of this, but I went down there the other night, and these, if you can hear screaming, by the way, there is a school, no one's getting attacked, and there's very happy children. But yeah, so I went down Anchor's Home Lane East, and they're digging these pits for the trees that we'd got. And these pits are massive. I had a look last night. I was, oh my word, you could put a car in those pits. They're huge. So currently there's a lot of digging going on in Anchor's Home with our exciting projects.
Oh, it is so exciting. We have waited a long time. It has felt to be a long time coming. Spring is here, weather nice, the work is underway, and the difference it's going to make to the environment of Anchor's Home is going to be huge. I think people massively underestimate the difference trees, greenery can make to their living environment, and the work that's underway now and will be over the next few weeks is huge, and I think that we're going to see a massive difference within this year and become so established. It is really exciting. It really is.
Yeah, you're so right. We sort of got a plan by the end of the year to have loads of things in place, haven't we? Yeah. That Anchor's Home looks better and different in a positive way than it did at the start of the year. So it's like all systems go, isn't it? Really, today's just part of that. I've just noticed behind us as well, we've got some of the volunteers hard at work as well, haven't we?
It's a community in itself, is Anchor's Home. I mean, there's other parts of Blackpool, absolutely, but this park, it has its volunteers here. Success seems to breed success. We've got new volunteers who are joining us because they see what's going on. But it isn't only the fact of the volunteers and the work they do and to enhance the park, it helps for their community. It helps them to feel part of this community, and that they can walk through this park and think, I did that, I contributed to that, and we value them so much. The work they've done is second to none. Hey, what would this park be without them?
Oh gosh, I dread to think it would be a lot poorer without all that energy, wouldn't it? It would. Right, we will. I am so cold, so I need to go warm my hands up. So we'll go and warm up, and then we'll carry on filming as the work continues.
Right.
Brilliant.
This is so exciting, isn't it?
Amazing the light gadget makes as well, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
I've done some digging in this park with a spade. I know what that's like.
Well, that machine is actually. You can use this device to auger holes, but we also have a device that fits to that. You take that auger screw off, and you can actually. I don't know if you've heard of a ground screw. But it's like a normal wood screw. Yeah. Like this. Yeah. But it's 1.2 meters in length. Wow. 140 mil at the widest point. Yeah. And that machine will drill that into the ground. And what it does, it compacts the soil around the outside. And we can put street lights up with a flange on the base of the column. So ground screws are used for. So these guys also do a lot of work with people that are putting home offices in their back garden. Yeah. So rather than doing a concrete slab, they put in about half a dozen screws with a frame that sits on the screws, and then the summer house or the office goes onto the screws. They've even done a couple of houses now where rather than doing the traditional footings, digging a trench work and pouring concrete, but they've actually put, I think, 80 odd screws in the ground with a steel frame that sits on the screws, and the house is built on the frame. So there's a lot of that goes on there. And they also, the mortgage companies will give you a mortgage based on doing a screw foundation rather than a traditional concrete. So they're quite busy just doing that sort of stuff nowadays. And then they come and look after us as well. So one of the partners in the company, he owns this company. So over the years we've built a really good team.
Brilliant. Yeah, absolutely. Just natural. They know what you need.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you can trust these guys. So the boss doesn't come out to site. I always go to, it's either me or myself or Greg, or one of the other chaps goes to site because we meet the client. But obviously we can manage what's going on as well.
Brilliant.
Now, I've closed the footpath, but it's more when we start putting the columns up, we need to ensure there's no one going backwards. Just makes people aware that we're doing something.
Definitely. Brilliant. Outstanding work.
It's good. They're a really good team. So we would, on a day, this time of year where I guess you've got sort of, they've travelled, you see they've just got here. They probably got here at 10:15. Normally they'd be on site at 8:30. So like tonight, probably 6 o'clock, they probably work till 5 o'clock. So we could probably auger 5 to 6 holes, put the columns in, put all the kit on and get them working per day, 5 to 6 columns, which is pretty good. And that's one team. So I know if you want to put street lights up, grid connected, you're looking at the team that will come in, that will do the trench work, then the trunking, the cabling, the grid connection, then putting the columns up. So that can take 11 working days.
Easily.
From different teams.
That's right.
So that's the sleeve. So that will now create a zone. The column will drop in there, and then they will backfill it with peat shingle. And the peat shingle just goes rock solid. So the column goes a metre in the ground, the length of that tube. So it's very stable.
That's it. Really embeds it in there.
So I'll have to have a look at, talk to you about the
Can we?
I'll have to, I guess, are you talking to anyone about the pump at the moment?
So the pump is quite straightforward. It's literally, for what we need, a standard high-powered domestic pump will do the job. So we're not expecting anything special than just like a standard waterfall that you get in a large garden pump.
What sort of size? Is it like
so
a metre high, 5 metres?
It would probably need to cover a distance of, say, where that tree is there to here in length. So that's the distance the water would have to be pushed up.
So it's going to be quite a large.
And then it has to go up, we think, by 3 metres in height. Which is the height to take it from the bottom of the pond to the slope where it then will come down. Now we've gone, that's conservative, i.e. we've been over-engineering it. We think it's actually require less than that, but you don't want to go the other way and you just get a trickle coming out.
No, that's right.
But working on that basis, that would more probably be what we need to do.
So the company that you're talking to, if I could talk to the guy you're dealing with, because I could talk to him and find out the wattage see if I could, because I've got we do solar barrage as well,
Right.
so I could plug that into the pump. So all I need is a mains power supply.
That's right. Yeah.
So I could adapt my one to try, but they may send me one out.
Yeah.
As they may have a second-hand one that they said, "Oh, just test it with this."
Yeah.
And then I could try and do that. And really, it'd be interesting to see. Now, is it something you would have on 12 months of the year? Or is it something about March or October? Or
Realistically, yeah, because you'll know, being an automaker, you wouldn't want to complement the whole.
No.
So realistically, you would say from about spring to October.
Yeah. Okay. So it'd be quite an interesting.
That would be amazing
project.
Yeah.
To be honest.
I don't know. I've done so much research and even designed the thought process in my garden.
Oh wow.
But I have to power it with remains.
Yeah.
To prove that how it would work. And then
I think it's very doable.
we've got the council to say yes, which is brilliant. And so it was just trying to work out. When you point out that I must
So what I probably would want is the company that I provide in the pub. If I could do some testing with that product, I really want them to. So my pump at home, I've got a contained reservoir of water. The pump sits at the bottom of the reservoir.
That's right.
And then the cabling, obviously waterproof, it comes out and it connects to the mains. Now, I want my connection to that cable outside of the water. And then I think then we're safe from that perspective. But I think it could be doable. So then we just locate a column.
That's right.
And then we decide. I mean, if it's like 3 watts and you wanted it on from 9 till and see whether we generate enough energy, depending on the wattage, and whether we go with the turbine as well. I don't know. But then the turbine, you've got mechanical cables, you've got all that stuff.
That's it.
That's why we don't normally play with the turbine.
And my worry there as well is it's such a vast environment. Whilst it would be good, I worry too many moving parts and
Absolutely.
And I sort of went, solar would be better and simpler.
Yep.
In terms of that environment is so easy. We had a guy from where we went to Green Flag over there last year. It was a really nice day when the judges came and they were from Manchester and they were like, why have you not got any trees in this park? And we were like trying to explain that it's not normally like this, it's normally like a tornado of wind. Sorry. So half an hour later, we now have the holes in place. And look at that, it's really good. Never ever been so excited to see a hole before. And now, great timing, because look what else has arrived. We now have the columns. So our 2 columns arrived, so they're going to be putting those in place shortly, so we'll capture that. And they're doing so well. They've only been at this, a couple of hours, but they've got so much done. Surveyed, holes dug, and the column's almost in. So yeah, amazing progress. Doing really well. Right then. Oh, there she goes. She's going up. Wow. This is a moment. Brilliant. Gosh, looks like she belongs there. Brilliant. So pleased we're able to capture that live. Big moment, that. A big moment. Wow. That's really impressive. It's amazing. It really does look like it belongs. That's really great. Really, really pleased.
You do it, I'll poke. Yeah. Oh, it's a good purple, do it? Oh, to be fair, that was a barrel, wasn't it? And yeah,
So just doing the second one now. That is amazing. Gosh. Big moment. So they're just about to start putting the light on now, so we're getting very excited. It's getting closer and closer. We'll all be ready. Hiya.
Yeah, so good position.
Yeah.
So what we're doing, the battery's already installed, so you can have a look at that. Maybe when they finish this one before
brilliant.
we shut the door. So in there you've got the battery, the controller. I've got in my boot the what we call the mushrooms, which are they're a remote access device. It's got a 4G card in it.
Brilliant.
So I'll install one of those so I can monitor them over the next couple of weeks. And then they're going to wrap the column with 2 solar wraps. So if you look at the far column there, you can see a plate halfway up, where it goes from a 152 diameter shaft to a 76.
Yes.
Which is where the solar goes. So that plate is an image of the profile of the light, the solar wrap, and then that just gets slotted over the top. So there'll be 2 wraps. We cable it all in, put the arm on, put the head on, and it'll be done. I'll program it, then I'll get the laptop out and I can program it from there. So, and then I can monitor it. We can get the right setting for you. Yeah, go from there really.
And will there be any light tonight?
Absolutely.
Oh wow! How excited!
Yeah.
There'll be this unveiling tonight. We're going to wait. We have got to come out as soon as it comes down.
Absolutely.
I'll try not to be here because I've got a 4-hour journey home. So.
You're not waiting till 6.
No, I've got that confidence in it. So,
That's
but,
it.
but I can test it when it's in situ.
Yeah.
So I do all the tests on it, get it all set up.
No, I'm going to be a case of quick. The sun's gone down. I've got to go see the lighting.
Yes. No doubt you'll send me a picture.
We certainly will. We certainly will. Yeah, we certainly will. Gosh.
Yeah.
I think everyone's been really impressed at the speed, at how fast the guys have gone today to get it.
Yeah, it's been difficult because of the journey. The guys here today, they were both delayed an hour because of the M6 closure.
Yeah.
But I think actually the guy with the spider lift, he left quite early before the other guys, so he got here quite a good time.
Yeah.
But the GPR survey and the ground workers, it took a little bit longer for them. So I didn't see the lorry turn up with the columns, but I guess that was okay. Did you see that?
I did. Yeah. He was a good guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He reversed in, didn't he?
He reversed in.
Actually put that column in the ground.
That's it.
Yeah.
And then they wheelbarrowed this one across over here.
Yeah.
And then, oddly enough, it sounds a bit nerdy, but I really quite enjoyed watching them put this pea gravel in. That was quite a fulfilling thing to do. Now there's this little spirit level.
If the ground is really sodden, what we tend to do is put the pea gravel, maybe 800 mil, and then the last 200 we'd cap it with a concrete, postcrete.
Yeah.
And that just really gives it that rigidity. But generally, that works fine. I mean, that's how we install every column, whether it's a developer, local authority. It's quite rapid. I mean, like I say, we can do probably 5 to 6 columns in a day this time of year.
Wow.
So if we did, if we were doing this whole park, we'd probably get 5 to 6 in.
That's brilliant, isn't it?
All up and running.
Yeah.
That's it in one day, which is quite mad because I was saying to Paul, if that was a grid connected solution, you'll have a team come in, say today, just digging the trench, and then another team would come in, lay the trunk in, put the cabling in, another team would come in and put the column up, and then another guy would come and do the grid connection. And you're probably looking at 11 man days in that process.
Yes.
So it's a and labour is a big part of this.
Oh
cost, believe it or not.
I bet. Labour's sometimes the biggest part of any job going on, isn't it?
It is, and I think also the plant hire. So this equipment. So we've had the track machine of this we call it a spider lift, which is great because it gives you access to smaller, difficult areas with footpaths and that sort of thing. So that's not cheap. And we get the guy in orange there he comes with the spider lift.
Yeah.
So it's almost as though you've got to pay for his labour inclusive in that. They don't allow you to hire that on its own.
Yeah.
But then he helps us with doing the installation. So we would, if we had a cherry picker, like a lorry-driven cherry picker here, which would be difficult getting into this area, we would have 3 of our guys working on this site. But because we've got this cherry picker with a guy, we've only got 2 guys working. Yeah. And normally, if we're doing like we did at York, 21 columns, we would have 2 teams.
Yeah.
So one's augering and the holes, putting the columns up, and then the others are follow installing the equipment. Just speeds up the process.
Yeah, absolutely. I know when we were looking at the quote, we started off with 1 light.
Yeah.
We looked at, obviously, the labour costs wouldn't really change.
No,
that's right.
Change.
No, that's it, isn't it? If you've got 6 or 1, we get this with developers that if we can give you a price, but if you go for volume, you'll get more
you get more for your money. But the problem is they build a phase, and they if they're maybe buying 40 columns off you, that phase may be 5 columns, and then they want you to come back in 6 months' time and do those 5. So the plant hire cost, rather than having maybe a week's worth of plant hire, you've got it spread over 2 years. So it becomes expensive.
Absolutely, yeah. We were able to squeeze another column in on that basis, weren't we?
Yeah.
Or was it just been this one in the middle?
Yeah.
We're like, we could squeeze another one out of that.
So what's the name of the other park?
Anchor Zone Park, that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I saw that on that. There's a brochure on the top by the counter.
Oh,
I think that's it, the name of that park.
Right. Yes. Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
We're trying to link both the parks as well.
Yeah.
Ideally, if you can link this park with Anchor Zone, it's so if people now like to do, say, 10,000 steps a day or as part of health promotion, what we were trying to do was say, if you follow a path around this park, you will have done so many steps.
Definitely, yeah.
If you walk to Anchor Zone Park, you will have done another so many steps. So people have a measured amount of distance, and they know how far they've walked on average.
Sure.
So it's linking the 2 together.
It is. I agree with you. So here we go. So on the plate there, they've got the black bracket, which is the bottom bracket for the solar wrap, and that'll sit on it. And then they put the bracket on the top of the one that they're putting on, and then there'll be another bracket on the second solar wrap, so they all interlink, and then they're cabled together, which they do when they put the second one on, and then cable it, put the arm on and the light head, and plug it in, test it, and off we go.
Brilliant.
So,
great. That sounds very simple.
yeah. It's funny that it's not that straightforward. I mean, we supply do a supply and install. I think all our competitors really do a supply only, and you have to get either your PFI contractor to install it. And we do that because we like to install it because, first of all, we know it's tested, commissioned, ready to go, and we feel comfortable with that. But also a lot of our clients like us to do the install, the turnkey solution.
It's like a one-stop shop.
It is.
It really is.
Correct.
Instead of trying to link different companies together, it's the one-stop shop. Is you have arrived early in the morning.
Correct.
By the end of the afternoon, you'll be gone.
That's it.
Everything
And
will
you
be
wouldn't know we've
installed.
been here other than 2 columns appear from somewhere.
Like, they weren't there when I went to school in the morning.
And I'd say, a lot of our competitors are doing the supply only because it's easy. So, taking something off the shelf and sending it to the client to install is easy. This is hard. This is, there's a lot of organisation in this process. They saw we've got
Yeah.
the GPR guy doesn't work for us, so he's contracted in. We've got the guy bringing the lighting columns. You've got the install team, and then you've got the cherry picker. So you've got 4 elements.
I totally got your email when you said, I need to know quickly because I'm going to book these people. I thought, I know what that's like. I know what that's like. So I was like, right, get this email quickly back to him.
Yeah.
Because you can't have a situation where you go, oh, sorry, we can't be there.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, what? I've just got all these guys.
I should have phoned you a lot earlier or emailed you a lot earlier, but it was. It's been pretty manic actually.
I can imagine.
This time at sort of November, December, all the way through to the end of March is probably our busiest time of year. So, orders and also installations
at the same time. Yeah. So you're covering both ends, aren't you?
That's right,
front and back.
And then we tend to do the maintenance when it's quiet, which is sort of really July, August time. This is a great bit of kit, by the way.
Isn't it just? Yeah.
It can get anywhere, which is really useful. So when you've got a cherry picker, which is a lorry with the cherry picker on the back, you can drive them anywhere, pick them up, go to different sites. But when you have to manoeuvre into a small footpath location like this, a cherry picker would sink in the grass.
It would,
especially if it's damp. Whereas this, I mean, he's put the feet out, but he put bigger plates down.
So here's my claim to fame. I have actually got a license to operate a scissor lift.
Have you really?
And also the crane that goes above it. Is it begins with M? What's what they called? It's the one above it. So there's 2 licenses. There's 3 licenses. So the scissor lift is the first one. Yeah. And then it's the next one up I've got.
Yeah, I'm not so sure.
So it's like a big crane.
Toby, who's down the bottom. He's licensed for all the equipment.
Oh, they're frightening. So you have to do this. So I did it for the tram depot. They made me do it for down there. Yeah. And it's the most terrifying thing I've ever done. And you have to do this test where you drive it around in reverse. So when you're up on there, everything's back to front when you start spinning that thing round. And if you touch a cone, you basically run over someone's foot, so you failed. So you're like, and you've got to do this like zigzag course backwards and forwards around the wrong way around. And I haven't got that sort of brain. No. It's just like.
Paul's driving is like driving Miss Daisy. I have been a passenger with him. Oh yes, I thought.
We get there eventually.
I thought to drive around Blackpool took 9 hours.
Oh dear.
So no, it's Paul's driving.
Avoiding all my stereotypes. I'm trying to remember what it's called. I've got a great photo. I'll show you this photo of me on the top of this crane.
It's a very slick operation.
Oh, isn't it just? Yeah.
It really is.
So there you go. You can see how that integrates with the solar with the plate.
Yeah.
And the reason we have the plate, it's probably over-engineered, but we do that because of if you didn't have the plate, you would grub screw the bracket into the column, and we just think over 25 plus years, how reliable health and safety is that?
Yeah.
So we can fit a plate and grub screw it in, but the same scenario. So we've decided to design the column with a plate. So these columns are manufactured by Fabricat, which is they're in Nottingham.
Wow, brilliant!
UK manufacturer.
That's what we love to hear.
Yeah, and they've from day one they've always manufactured our columns for us to our design.
Yeah,
and they do a lot of fabrication work for local authorities where they do all the fancy lighting on promenades.
Oh yes,
all that sort of stuff.
That's right. Yeah.
So they're not like so basically they say what do you want and they design it and it's done. Whereas you go to another column provider, they say, well, this is our standard.
Yeah.
So you need to try and work with that.
It's funny.
So Fabricat are really good.
One of my life lessons about councils was based around standardisation of parts.
Yeah.
But I know there was a certain promenade not too far away where they got some very fancy lights.
Yeah.
And when they started inevitably to break, as these things always do, there were no more of those standards, those lights in that same design. Whereas, so when we did our promenade, we always said, right, can we just have basic lights? The ones where you can get a replacement bulb quite easily. That would be quite helpful.
So if you look at your street lights here on the highway, they're aluminium. So they are something like 2/3 the price of a steel column. But the reason I guess Blackpool have gone with the aluminium because they're looking at long-term cost of ownership. So an aluminium column will it won't corrode like a steel column would do, and they've got something like 50 years. They're designed, whereas the standard steel column will be 25 years plus. They can make them longer, and generally they all do last longer. But that's sort of the standard. If you notice, they don't have arms on them. So the head is situated on top of the aluminium column. Some councils do that because when you get to test that in 50 years time to see whether that column's fit for purpose, there's a cost. There's a couple of companies that do it. They come round and they will analyse that column, do various tests, thickness tests and all that sort of thing. But there's a cost for testing the column and a test for testing the arm.
Oh gosh, so you pay twice.
So a lot of local authorities have gone with no arms, and then they use the optics. So your lighting head will be LED, and then and I probably can show you with our head here. There's a lens that goes over the LED board, and they're called optics. And we've got something like 50 different types of optics. So what it'll do is you may want an optic that stretches down the path and is very narrow, or you might want one on a main road where you want the profile to reach down the side of the road onto the pavement and be narrow this way and pushing it across the road. So that's use optics to achieve that.
So they really did take a long-term view here, didn't they? With
they did, and a lot of local authorities do. I think all of the councils in Wales are an aluminium, so that's their focus, and they don't put arms on either.
So just in terms of steel and corrosion with like coastal elements and so on, how is it with weathering that, would you say?
Well, the column itself that's galvanised.
Oh, brilliant.
Okay.
Brilliant.
The base, the root, has got a fiberglass coating for root protection, mainly because of dampness, but also dogs weeing up them. And then I don't know if you noticed, but you can't see that's galvanised because then we do a painted finish over the top.
I did wonder, because there's normally a shine or something, isn't it?
Right. So there's like 2 coats. They rub it down, paint it, rub it down, paint
Brilliant.
it. So that's our standard. We don't actually purposely do galvanised columns because we look at the aesthetics of the column. The reason we put an arm on is because it looks more aesthetically pleasing.
And in this case, it works really well with the trees, doesn't it? So it pushes it out
Absolutely.
further away. It was almost built for that space in a way. This column. It was. It's not often when you imagine a project, and when it comes to installing it, it actually is exactly how you imagine it. Oh wow! Look. How about that, Anita?
It's looking really good, isn't it?
Isn't
it neat?
Isn't it smart? It is. You're right.
It really is.
And that sort of overhang is perfect, isn't it? So it pushes the column out so it can catch the sun.
Yes.
And then you've got the light directly over the path. Now he said it was about sort of, I'm not sure how many. I'll ask him when he comes back, when Dave comes back. But I'm sure he said about 20 odd meters cover. Actually, does look good, doesn't it?
It is such a slick operation, though. It really is. We're so used to things being done over days. It's not this is all in one day from start to finish.
Absolutely.
It's amazing.
It is, isn't it? Yeah, like there will be children that came to school today on that same path. No lights. They've come out and suddenly there are lights installed, which is like,
guess who's coming when when it's gone dark, I am
we're
going
so
to
coming
be
back,
here.
aren't we? We're so coming back, yeah.
I'm just going to the park. It's dark now.
That's right, yeah. I've got to hang around in the park for a bit.
It's how far solar lighting has progressed.
Yeah, we couldn't have done this project just 10 years ago.
No.
It's always something I've been keen to do, but I just didn't think the technology was there.
Yeah. Just think where the two parks though are properly linked with everything we've got in mind, and all the plans that we hope for to link the two, because people can't afford gyms, they can't afford all of these extra things, so they have to be able to take exercise and not be heavy on their pockets.
Absolutely.
A gym membership, and do you have the time to go where this can be part of their everyday life? Walk from one place to another. The link, if we will get a stronger link between the parks, and that would be absolutely great for people.
It will.
We're at a time when health is a huge part of people's well-being, their mental health and everything, and being outside in the green spaces, in the parks, and being able to think, I'm going to walk to the next park now, I'm going to get my exercise there. And although the two parks are linked, they offer different things almost, and different opportunities. I think it's a really good idea.
Absolutely, Nita. Yeah, you just know the Victorians would approve, wouldn't you? This is so what they had in mind when they built parks. Yeah, health and happiness, and in one bite-sized bubble, and it costs nothing. That's the beauty of it. So everyone benefits. Good Lord, haven't they made that look easy? So here we are, the finished project. So this is, they've been amazing. It's only taken 3 or 4 hours to put them in, dig the holes, then put them in, but it looks absolutely amazing. So we've got 2 lights, you can see one column there, and then that obviously connect with the column just behind me, which is there. So that'll give you 3/4 of that path, and then the plan will be we'll start saving up for the 3rd light then, and that'll take you all the way down the bottom. But that's that light, and you can see the other light there, and then we'll put that other light somewhere down there. So we'll start saving up for that now. But this will have a big impact just in this alone, and it looks really good. We're really proud of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back a bit later, and we'll see what they look like in the dark. Hello, so it's now a few hours later, and I'm looking at the path towards Neville Avenue. This is the bit where we haven't put any lights, and you can see just how dark it is. So now we're going to have a look to see if the lights are working and what the difference looks like. So if I just move the camera around and look at the difference there, and there is one of the lights, the first light that went in, and how good does that look? Doesn't that look welcoming and bright and so on, and most of all safe? If I just move the camera around and that is the rest of the path. And there is a special visitor waiting for us, and it's Anita. So we'll just go and say a few words to Anita, and we're going to say hello. Hello, Anita. How are you?
Just admiring the new lights.
Aren't they good?
Oh, they are really good.
Yeah.
And they are doing exactly what we hoped they would. I mean, these lights was never designed to be floodlights. They were never designed to illuminate the entire park. They were designed simply to illuminate the path, to make residents feel safe if they were walking through at dusk, at dawn. And I think that they have been will be a tremendous success. We've had some very positive comments, and we've only been here a short time.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of those projects that not only does it look good, it's really, really functional, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. And the speed that these lights went in, and the quality seems absolutely brilliant. Every credit to the people who actually put them in as well. It's been a real success.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. We would highly recommend it, David and the team. And if anybody is interested in going about getting solar lights installed in a green space or any space and isn't sure about how it should work, how to go about it, get in contact with us. We would highly recommend David and the team. They were brilliant, weren't they?
They really were, but it shows how solar lighting has come on so much, because we would normally have expected all of this to be hardwired in, but the solar lights and the quality of the light is absolutely brilliant, and I think that it will make this park even more usable for longer periods throughout the day, because people will feel that much safer.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely, Anita. And we've already noticed we've had some moms with prams walking past, and there's no way they would have gone through here.
No. Just as I was coming in, a mum, as you say, with her pram, was walking through, got on her way. I take her to the shops, and then walked back again. And so she obviously felt safe enough to walk through with her baby. That is a brilliant success.
Yeah. Absolutely, isn't it just? So so if anyone's interested in getting lights, please get in contact. Our mission now is to raise the money to get a third one, isn't it?
Yes, I think that looking at the path now and how it works, we think probably another one perhaps will make just that little bit more light, and then will illuminate the whole stretch.
That's it, isn't it? Finishes it off.
Yeah, it really does.
So, well, thank you for joining us in our grand journey of showing you how to install solar lights in a green space.
Yeah.
It's been a really busy day. We really appreciate you watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll put the links in below about the company that's installed it, and the general information about how we got to this point and what we want to do next. And thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon.